Hey, what's up, guys? Back with another quick update. As we mentioned in the last video, we're trying to get this work done before the place got wet, and for the most part, we dodged the bullet. We got a small wet spot, but nothing that prevented us from working. So, was able to get that last application of filler sanded out, smoothed out to where I was finally happy with it, and a short time ago, I was able to hit it with the, what we call it, the dolphin glaze. Yeah, it's just a glaze and putty right here. And as you see, it says right on it, ultra fine finishing glaze. It's meant to, just take care of small imperfections. So it's not like filling any holes, like major wavy spots or anything like that. It's a light skim coat to get things cleaned up and ready to accept some primer and paint. So just applied it, so similar to the filler, we need to give that roughly 20 minutes to set up, and once that happens, then I'll be able to sand it down, and hopefully I'm happy with it on the first pass. But worst case scenario, something is not just right where I want it, I'll go ahead and hit it with another round of glaze putty and sand it out. But honestly, I think where I had the main filler at, there's going to be no need for that unless something goes wrong with me with the DA and I get too aggressive in one spot or another. But so that's just a quick update. The progress continues. No days off. We're trying to get this project done as soon as possible, but at the same time, we want to take our time and get it as correct as possible, right? Because once you paint, really no turning back after that. All the imperfections will jump out at you, and I mean, there is turning back, but it's time and money. We don't want to have to do that, right? So, working on it. It's getting there, and that's where we're at. So, depending on what the weather is like overnight, tomorrow we may be able to jump back on it. Today is actually Wednesday, so tomorrow being Thursday, and all goes well, we're dry again on Friday, and this thing will be primed up, and I'll be moving on to the other spots. What I wanted to also get done that I didn't get done is I wanted to address this fender. This fender had already been repaired. It had both sides had a small rust patch, and before I got there, the metal was replaced. Before I received the car, honestly, the metal was cut out and replaced, and it's got a skim coat of some old Bondo on there. So I'm probably gonna sand all that off, apply some fresh Bondo, and also hit it with glaze putty, which won't take long because as you can see, that's a real small spot. And at the same time, I'll do the driver's side fender as well. And the only thing that'll be remaining from a bodywork perspective is the lower driver's side quarter. We're still making our decision on what we're gonna do there, and if we go with the best possible route, which is replacing some metal, then we gotta pause a little bit as I wait for the donor car to arrive. But we'll see. We got a little bit of time, and the car could show up any day. So hang tight, stay with me, and yeah, like I said, man, we're working on this together. So any feedback or whatnot, words of encouragement, comment below. I could always use that. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. That's all for now, but keep your antennas up, keep your notifications on, because there'll be more to come. All right, guys, thanks for watching. This is Motor City Customs, and for today, we are out. What's up, guys? So today we're back on the 63 project. Where we left off yesterday, we had applied the glazing putty and ran out of time before I had to head out, so didn't get a chance to sand it down and get everything smoothed out and ready for primer. Actually, today I was able to get in here and get it sanded down, so everything now is smooth where it needs to be. There's some very, very minor finesse work that needs to happen on what would be like the underside of that lower quarter. You can't really see it, but I guess like the edge closest to the ground there's a little bit of sanding and filling I need to do right there that, whatever, we'll get to that later. So that's not really visible, so no big deal. But right now, what I'm getting ready to do is get the rattle can primer. And when I say rattle can primer, that just means like the primer that's in like a spray paint can. Yeah? So something like this, spray can. So that way you don't have to, break open a gallon of primer, mix it up and all that crap for this small area. So sometimes you have to do what makes the most sense when it comes to working on these cars. Yeah, if I was priming the whole car, I would use some, good high build primer and, block the whole car down and all of that. But it's not necessary in this case. This is just a real minor lower quarter repair. So just gonna hit it with the primer, and that primer also helps to fill in any little scratches or imperfections. Then I'll sand that down eventually and go over it with another coat before we paint it. But for right now, the main objective for today is just to get this stuff covered up. Like I said, we were fortunate where we didn't really get any major rain overnight. So this area of the shop is dry and the work is not compromised, because I'm running behind schedule a little bit. I would have already hoped to have had this work done, but you know how it goes, man. There's only so much time in the day, and we get busy with other things. Life gets in the way. But anyway, we're back on track. And yes, I'm getting ready to knock that out. I don't know, I was kind of hesitating, like, should I just go ahead and finish this front fender too before I do that? But, I got to sand all that down and throw some fresh filler on there, glaze it, etc. It's light work, but I'm going to just go ahead and finish this first. Cause when you're working on stuff, it's not good to jump all around to different panels. Finish one panel at a time is what I learned is the best thing to do. I've made that mistake in the past working on a car, and you start in one section, you don't 100% finish it, and then you jump to another section and another section. Next thing you know, time passes by. You might forget what you did or what you didn't do on the one panel, and it'll come back to bite you when you paint the car or prime the car or whatever. You say, oh, damn, I forgot to do that. Now I got to jump back over there. So that's just my recommendation. And again, like I said in previous videos, I'm no expert, but I'm just giving you pointers and tips based on my own real world experience. Yeah, I'm not professionally trained in this aspect of cars. When it comes to like the mechanical stuff, I am professionally trained in that and certified, signed, sealed, and certified, all that good stuff. That's a fun fact. I started off as a mechanic. Yeah. And I'm not going to get into too much detail there, but yeah, back to the car. So it's coming together nicely. Gonna hit this with some primer, and when I finish that, I'll come back to you and show you guys that. All right? Thanks, Motor City Customs. We'll be right back. Yeah, guys, so there we go. After we applied the primer, I thought I had it all done, but there were a couple of things that weren't really visible to the naked eye, and I guess a couple of spots that I didn't really run my hand over very well. Found a couple imperfections. So those are the spots where you see that kind of light blue dolphin glaze putty, because I'm using that to just correct those issues. So just applied it and got to give it some time to dry. So realistically, based on my time here and where we're at, I'm going to leave it right there. But as you can see, we got the primer on, so every spot where you don't see the dolphin glaze is pretty much in good shape. You got a little color differential there because I need to hit a little more primer in the darker spot, I would say. Another thing with the Bondo is it kind of soaks up, absorbs like a sponge a little bit, that first application of whatever material you're putting on it. So, you can expect a couple light spots, dark spots. So, but eventually when it's fully coated, it'll look uniform. So I'll take care of that again, and we'll take another look at it tomorrow. These last spots, ideally, I need to just sand those with the hand blocks. That's another danger a little bit. We're using the DA sander, or didn't mean to do that, but the orbital sander. It it's not really good for long flat panels like that, right? I mean, it's okay, but just based on the fact it's only 6 inches, and if you leave it in one spot for too long, now you can start creating a low spot, and you just end up with a lot more work. So when you're using that, you can't leave that tool in one spot for too long. You got to keep moving back and forth on the panel. They have other tools that are more well suited for this, and I do have them, but I haven't used them in a while and got to dig them out. But most importantly, what I was getting at is I want to sand this last portion here with the blocks, the hand blocks. And I think my one issue I'm having right now is I can't really find the correct sandpaper that I thought I had on deck, but I can improvise and use some of those round pads and stick them onto a square pad and block it down by hand, because I want to use the 80 grit to start. But anyway, so we'll probably cover that a little bit tomorrow. Today is Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, so more than likely I'll live stream some of the work. But that's where we're at. The saga continues, or the project continues, and we continue to move forward. So thanks for coming along for the ride. And remember to hit that like button if you haven't already. Adjust your bell notifications so you don't miss an episode. And yeah, continue to support the channel. Super thanks button is activated. Super chat button is activated for the live stream. So hey, if you're feeling like you want to support the channel, reach out and touch us where it counts, in the wallet. And also, you also have option to check out some of the merch. It's a couple nice items in there you might like. Something for all different budgets, so don't be shy. Check out the store and support the channel. And if all else fails, we do have a Cash App and a PayPal. You can find that in the description or channel description content. So take a look and look at some of the previous content when times permits. Check out the playlist and watch this whole build from start to finish. It's called 1963 Impala Project. You can find that in the playlist section. And most of all, stay tuned. I'm Shawnee C, your host. This is Motor City Customs, and we are out.